Well, hey there and Happy New Year. I'm wearing leather pants, so if you hear farty noises, it would be leather on leather, not, yeah, squirrel. I thought in 2023 I would revive this YouTube channel and try something completely different. I have recently tried the Carnivore Diet. Ooh. Somebody that I know told me how it had worked for them and gave me sort of the benefits that they had experienced. So I figured, hey, why not? It's not going to kill me, so why not give it a shot? So I figured I'd just kind of walk you all through what I'm going through in almost real time. I'm pretty new to this still, so I figured every time I upload a video, I'll give you play by play on what I'm going through and how I'm finding it and challenges I'm experiencing and anything else that has to do with, working out or physique or energy levels, all that good stuff. There's a zillion different, keto channels out there and carnivore channels out there. And I figured I'd sort of approach it from a little bit of a different perspective, being, a fitness chick, gym rat, professional bodybuilder, competitor, whatnot. Maybe I'd explore it from that perspective. So welcome to my journey. I'm going to insert this in the middle of the video because somebody just asked me what is the carnivore diet, and that's a good point. I don't think I actually touch on that in this video, so I'm going to smush this in the middle. I'm in my car. Carnivore diet, I would probably describe it best as like the ultimate elimination diet. So a lot of people, they'll have a food that doesn't agree with them, whether it's like upset stomach or sinus congestion. Some people break out into hives if they eat certain foods. They get bloating, or there's a whole bunch of different symptoms that people can get from different foods. So carnivore diet is a way of sort of eliminating everything except for like really easy digestible foods, which is meat, eggs, sort of proteins and fats, and that's it. You can have dairy, but some people take dairy out. No carbs, no leafy greens or veggies or any of that kind of stuff. You can have protein from a ton of different sources, but basically you're wanting to eliminate carbs, eliminate anything that might disagree with you. And it's supposed to help with inflammation. It's supposed to help with digestion. It's supposed to help with sleep and mood and brain fog and a whole bunch of different things if it works well. Of course, everybody's going to respond differently. So I was just kind of curious to see how my body responded to that. I definitely do get congestion, sinus issues. My eyes get tired and puffy. If I eat, usually the culprit is wheat, so bread. If I eat pizza, if I have, a sandwich, the next morning I'll wake up and I'll be really, really stuffed up and my eyes will be like itchy and tired and red. And I know that I've eaten something that didn't agree with me. So I was just super curious to see if I just had proteins and fats and kept everything else out, how my body would respond. So that's the carnivore diet. So let me back up a little bit for those of you that don't know me. I'm Jody. I've been working out pretty hard at the gym since, I'm going to say about 2016, and started competing shortly after that. Competed in the bikini division and got my pro card in bikini in 2019. Competed in 2 IFBB pro shows, the last one being about 2 years ago, and I haven't competed since then. But the most recent prep that I did with my coach, we did a very low carb diet approach, which was probably my first time really going through the low carb thing. Of course, growing up, back when I was young, we were into the low fat craze. So everybody did low fat. We thought that was the way to go, and carbs were kind of life. So most of my life, I grew up on lots of carbs, and I think that's the way my body was used to doing things. So when we did the low carb prep, it was new to me. So starting the carnivore journey, my first inclination was that it was going to be really, really difficult for me to get rid of carbs. Carbs have sort of been life for so long. I, of course, as a competitor, used to sweet potatoes and rice. So I was going to be cutting those out completely. Whereas keto, you're kind of hovering around 20, 25 grams of carbs a day. Carnivore is very, very low, so almost none. It's mostly just proteins and fats. So I'm going to say we're mid-January right now. I started carnivore right around Christmas time. So I did a ton of research before I went into this to see sort of how people experienced going into carnivore, what their bodies did, how they reacted. I saw, some side effects like digestion issues as your body transitions over, energy. I've heard about the keto flu, of course. So I was sort of prepared for all of that, and I was expecting it to be really, really difficult. And I didn't find it difficult at all, actually, to switch over to fat and protein diet. Again, coming from the competitive bodybuilding world, I've always had really, really high senior jobs. I've had a lot of stress. I've had 3 and 4 jobs at a time, sometimes with, relationship issues and all the stuff that we all go through day to day, compounded with competing and just like a lot of stuff going on. And I've always found inflammatory issues kind of pop up for me when there's a lot going on in my life. I can put on water weight really, really fast when I'm stressed out. I can, gain 5 pounds in a day from just my body retaining water when I'm stressed out. So that was something I was looking forward to getting rid of. So again, I didn't start doing this for weight loss, but I heard so many benefits about being, anti-inflammatory and how it can help sort of reset your insides when it comes to digestion, when it comes to any inflammatory issues that you might be dealing with. I've heard a lot of really, really positive feedback from some friends that have done this. They really, really like it and they felt just so much better. Digestion is improved, mind clarity is improved, no brain fog, sleeping better, that kind of thing, just feeling more clear. So that was something that I was really, really excited for. And I am experiencing those things. Like maybe sleep is one thing that's not been super, super great since I started this, but I have heard that takes time as your body's adjusting. There's a bit of a hiccup there sometimes for a lot of people. So at Christmas time, I did have some pre-planned dinner arrangements. So I didn't want to sacrifice my Christmas dinner for Carnivore Diet, make things weird with my friends. So I decided to just have regular Christmas dinner. That probably kicked me out of ketosis if I was in ketosis at the time. And same thing with New Year's. I did have a few drinks on New Year's, so that could have kicked me out as well. But I didn't experience any symptoms either coming in or out of ketosis. And still waiting sort of for those symptoms that just have never really come. Some of the side effects that they mentioned that do happen when you're in ketosis are sort of like weird taste in your mouth, which I do experience now and then. Another one would be peeing a lot, which I'm also experiencing, and decrease in energy, and of course the keto flu, which I don't really experience. So hard to tell if I'm in ketosis or not. I guess I could get a blood monitor, but that just seems a little excessive. I figure I'm just going to ride this out and see what happens. Haven't dropped any weight yet. I think my body really is used to the whole carbs thing. I'm used to burning carbs as energy. I'm used to a low fat diet and burning all my glycogen stores, and having no glycogen in me is weird. I don't think my body likes this. Again, no side effects, but it's just I'm not dropping weight, and I know this isn't a diet that you're supposed to do to drop weight, but I did expect something to happen, and so far I'm just getting kind of bloated. Trying to change up the scenery a bit here so y'all don't get bored of me. I kind of got frustrated because I didn't feel any of those symptoms. So I thought I actually wasn't going into ketosis. So I ended up buying the ketone pea strips just to see if I could get some inclination as to whether I was in ketosis or not. And the pea strips have been kind of hit and miss for me. I hear they're not super, super accurate. One thing I did read about was that if you are making ketones, but then your body is using those ketones for fuel. So me, I lift heavy at the gym. I'm at the gym a lot, working out really hard. So if your body is burning all those ketones, they're not going to be peed out. Your body's not going to get rid of them because there's none left. You've used them all. So that's one thing that I'm wondering about, because the pea strips are sort of, I've maybe had traces in there twice, and other than that, nothing. So me being the super controlling A-type personality that I am, I'm like, I need to get into ketosis. How do I make this happen? MCT oils, and I tried everything, and still the pea strips are kind of like very hit and miss. So I don't actually know if I'm in ketosis. I'm eating almost no carbs, and I've been eating almost no carbs since New Year's. So it's been about 2.5 weeks now, and still don't seem to be peeing any out. But I am finding at the gym, my strength is definitely decreasing. Which is one side effect that they did say was going to be common because your body's not producing glycogen. Glycogen is sort of where all the energy comes from when you're, sprinting or doing any high intensity activity. So don't have the glycogen in my body anymore. So the energy levels have dipped at the gym. My performance has definitely gone down. I've heard that people, drop a bunch of water weight off the bat. That hasn't happened to me either, which is also frustrating. I think part of me kind of had this image in my mind that, your body's going to use fat for fuel, so I'm going to be burning through all the fat in my body, and actually I'm eating so much fat, and I think it's just sticking to me. The scale hasn't budged, water weight's not dropping, fat's definitely not dropping. I'm feeling like a bit of blimp. and I'm kind of miserable at the moment compared to how I usually walk around and how tight I'm used to being. Muscle tone, I'm finding my muscle tone is definitely deteriorating. I'm not seeing the shreds, the cuts as much as I'm used to seeing. So far it's been a little bit of a mind bleep being softer than I'm used to being. I know it's a process and I know it's going to take time, so I'm trying to ride it out, but I'm not a patient person, so I'm trying to get things moving along and it's not working. So part of me's kind of wanted to give up a few times on this, but I'm going to see it through and see how things go over the next maybe few weeks. I know YouTube won't let me say that word, so so I'd be kind of curious if anybody else is sort of going through anything similar. Are you trying to maybe do a different type of diet than you're doing? You're not seeing the results you expected. Shoot me a message in the comments. Like, let me know what you're going through and just tell me if I'm not alone in this. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So I think that's enough for today. I've probably rambled on a bit enough, but I just wanted to introduce you all to me and my journey and what I'm going through and this new direction that I'm gonna start focusing on this channel. So of course there will be other topics as well that I cover, but just figured I'd bring you in on this journey with me and see who's interested, and let me know if there's anything you want me to touch on, or if you have any questions, just shoot them down in the comments below, and I look forward to doing this with you all. And I will try to stop playing with my hair while I'm talking as well. Bye guys.